Chronic inflammation, the unknown killer. Are you suffering from chronic inflammation? In this video, we'll take a quick look at chronic inflammation. What's really going on in your body's chemistry when you have chronic inflammation? And what are some simple things that I've been doing to help combat and minimize it? All up next on It's the Bald Guy channel. Hey, what's up everyone? Dan Pierre, the Bald Guy here. Welcome to my video about chronic inflammation. I've made this video because it is a very important topic, needless to say. Chronic inflammation is behind many health issues and conditions, and in the past I've been a sufferer of chronic inflammation and wanted to share with you some information about it, and then a few things I've done that have reduced my chronic inflammation that have made me feel better. Before we go any further, I just need to let you know that none of the content in this video should be thought of nor used as medical advice or consultation. For your individual health and chronic inflammation scenario, as well as your health in general, you should consult your doctor or healthcare practitioner for advice and solutions that are best and right for you. I'm simply sharing with you some generally available information, as well as, in my opinion, what has worked well for me to help me combat and minimize chronic inflammation, and perhaps it can help you too. This isn't just an idle disclaimer. Rather, I want to be honest with you that as a sufferer of chronic inflammation, I've done some research about it, and I'm sharing with you what has worked well for me against chronic inflammation, but I am not a doctor or healthcare practitioner. So, on the subject of chronic inflammation, as you can see in this graphic, chronic inflammation is connected with many different health conditions, including, though not limited to, cancer, heart disease, metabolic disorders of various types, fibromyalgia, and chronic pain, just to name a few. Many people don't realize this, but chronic inflammation is indeed at the root of many of these conditions. And if chronic inflammation can be neutralized, and that's a key word I want you to remember, neutralized, then it can make a big difference in the particular health condition that it is helping to cause. Inflammation itself is a word that you hear often, but do you really understand what it means? Simply put, inflammation is a natural response to negative stimuli in the body. Such stimuli can be in the form of bacteria, injury, trauma, stress, or other sources. Inflammation is a response process that under normal circumstances is really a good thing. Inflammation mounts the body's defenses against negative stimuli. It initiates histamine to cause plasma to be released. It destroys pathogens and injured cells and sets the stage for healing and renewal of the affected area to take place. Inflammation can be acute, which means it happens in response to a specific issue. For example, you hit your finger with a hammer, as I've done many times, bang your shin into a trailer hitch, or perhaps get hit by a baseball, or any one of a number of injuries. It generally swells up, turns red, and then the aforementioned inflammation actions happen. Then the injury gets better, heals, and goes away. But when inflammation becomes chronic, that's when it becomes unhealthy, pervasive, and overwhelming to the body, causing disease and destruction. This graphic shows a comparison of how the body processes a normal inflammation scenario versus one where chronic inflammation is at play. And you can see that in a normal or acute inflammation scenario on the left, something happens. You hit your thumb, your shin, elbow, or whatever, and then the body takes the injury through a cycle of applying various chemicals and substances that involve an immediate reaction, followed by setting up for healing. And inflammation itself is very much a part of that. However, the right side of the picture shows that chronic inflammation has the body in a persistent state of inflammation that seemingly never ends. And when that happens, inflammation can work in conjunction with free radicals in the body and potentially lead to cancer and disease, as well as many, many other conditions. Chronic inflammation often perpetuates mutated cells, which in turn mutate other cells, turning them cancerous as well. Chronic inflammation can also lead to many other serious diseases. It can cause arterial plaques to rupture, triggering heart disease through various mechanisms. It can cause the body to utilize insulin much less efficiently, thereby exacerbating diabetes. It can also cause the body to more or less attack itself, causing persistent pain and aggravating existing painful conditions, such as back pain and arthritis. Chronic inflammation can also be a root cause for fibromyalgia, persistent back pain, high cholesterol, allergies, asthma, and many other all too common conditions. A key cause of chronic inflammation, though not the only cause certainly, is that our bodies are constantly under attack, frankly. Day in, day out, and minute by minute, we are bombarded with so many toxins, poisons, and stressors in our environment. Free radicals are normally a product of living. However, given the constant attack we are all under, free radicals are much more prevalent and abundant in the body than they would be or should be if these toxins, poisons, and factors weren't constantly attacking us. Free radicals are caused by a process known as oxidative stress. Among other things, free radicals can become superabundant in the body from a number of things, such as a diet of foods high in saturated fat, preservatives, and chemicals, smoking, high blood pressure, infections, our polluted environment, an unhealthy lifestyle, stress certainly, repetitive injuries, genetic predisposition even, a lack of exercise, and other ongoing conditions that you may or may not be aware of. Free radicals, by the way, are unstable oxygen atoms, are unstable oxygen atoms, I should say, in the body, which constantly look to become stable, and in doing so, oxidize and steal an electron from other atoms surrounding them in healthy tissues, for example, therefore harming cells and tissues all over the body. We're getting a bit chemical now, but this is kind of a look under the covers of just really what's going on when we talk about free radicals and pervasive chronic inflammation. The molecule depicted on the left in this picture is stable and is quite happy as it is. The molecule on the right, however, is unstable, and it is not happy because it is missing an electron, such as a free radical would be missing an electron. And that's how this whole cycle of inflammation, chronic inflammation, starts. So such atoms look around at healthy tissue atoms so that it can steal an electron and become stable again. And I'm sorry about that. I should have turned that off. Anyway, back to work here. And so this picture shows that as electrons are stolen from more and more cells and tissues, they too become free radicals and further damage other tissues by stealing electrons from them. As more and more cell damage takes place, chronic inflammation takes hold, and this whole scenario kind of happens over and over again, and it spreads and it repeats itself, much like a breeder reactor, and it begins to spread, causing disease and pain. So you ask, what can be done about chronic inflammation? Well, a great way to prevent and reduce it is to eliminate as many causes of free radicals that damage the body as possible, allowing the body to drive out chronic inflammation through normal means. There are basic things we can do to help eliminate chronic inflammation, so our counterattack against it should be kept simple. All of this talk we have continually heard while growing up about eating lots of fruits and vegetables, especially organic, is hugely true and vitally important because they are loaded with antioxidants. And that's a word you're going to hear a lot of, antioxidants. I cannot stress enough that antioxidants are key because they willingly, why is that? Because they willingly give up the electron that free radicals are looking for, therefore neutralizing free radicals, making them happy so they don't need to steal electrons from healthy tissues, therefore creating pervasive chronic inflammation. And so, we neutralize free radicals so that the body can get rid of them through free radicals through normal waste elimination means. And this slide depicts that with the antioxidant molecule on the left giving up an electron to neutralize the free radical on the right. So the antioxidants we consume through fruits and vegetables and other foods with certain and with certain supplements give up these electrons for us so that our cells don't have to, therefore preventing chronic inflammation and blocking and stopping that cycle and protecting the body's tissues. For starters, eat clean, eat cleanly. A lot of what we put inside of ourselves has a lot to do with preventing free radicals from forming. You must make a focused effort to seek out and consume only preservative-free and chemical-free foods. And organic foods are a great way to start and a great direction to go in. And avoiding saturated fats as much as possible is also a great idea. All of these contribute to, all of these preservatives and saturated fats and on, contribute to chronic inflammation in the body. Reduce and prevent chronic inflammation in your body by eating wonderful organic fruits like blueberries, strawberries, apples, and plenty of red, orange, green, and yellow veggies. They are our friends. Yay! Thank God they exist. In general, the more colors from nature in your diet, the better things will be, and the better, because they are just so loaded with certain types of powerful antioxidants known as phytochemicals. That's a great word, phytochemicals. And going heavy on antioxidants and phytochemicals in your diet is key to keeping chronic inflammation to a minimum, if not eliminating it at any point in time. It needs to be an ongoing effort to beat inflammation, not a one-time effort, but you need to adopt a lifestyle of filling yourself with antioxidants and phytochemical foods. And here's some suggestions. Make steel cut oats part of your diet and use good fats whenever possible. Some great oils are olive oil, canola, and coconut. Get most of your fats from good fats such as almonds and walnuts, avocados. I love avocados. And great brain food they are as well as body food. And cold water fish such as salmon, sardines, anchovies, and a high quality liquid fish oil. When preparing a meal, always try to bake, broil, grill, or boil instead of pan frying or deep frying if you can. Also, don't forget that water is largely the stuff we are made of, not soft drinks. So drink lots of water that's been filtered or a high quality bottled water. Eliminate soft drinks, diet soda, and sport drinks. And as a quick side note, did you know that some, and this really frightened me when I learned of this, did you know that some diet sodas have a chemical makeup that greatly resembles formaldehyde? How's that? That'll make you lose your appetite. It can also cause leaching of calcium from your bones, therefore leading to problems with joints and other structural issues. Even most fruit juices contain large amounts of hidden calories from copious amounts of added sugar or corn sweeteners, which can also help drive chronic inflammation. These simple changes can make a huge difference in your health and in the way you feel, and maybe quicker than you think. Pomegranate juice has a high sugar content like other juices, but assuming you are not diabetic or not in an urgent weight loss scenario, it is probably worthwhile drinking at least 1 8-ounce glass of it per day because of its health benefits, again, loaded with antioxidants. And again, check with your doctor, healthcare practitioner, or dietitian on what's best for you and what foods and beverages you should avoid. Go organic as much as you can afford. I know organics can cost a lot, and we all feel the pinch of them, but because you are putting this stuff in your body, it's worth it. I would encourage anyone to try to spend less on something else and spend a little more on the fuel that goes in your tank, so to speak. and fill your body and your brain, your mind, with what's healthy, antioxidants. The main thing is to get the antioxidants within all of these foods inside you. And as I mentioned earlier, touched on earlier, avoid high fructose corn syrup like the plague. It can be a huge chronic inflammation contributor. Antioxidants and anti-inflammatory supplements are also an option. They can help you as well. However, you do need to be careful about which ones you take, because absorption is so key when you are fighting chronic inflammation in the body. I'm not a fan of hard pills or even capsules, because many such supplements contain ingredients that are actually toxic to the body, or they can be over the long term, and therefore can actually help perpetuate the very chronic inflammation you're trying to get rid of. Also, pills and capsules aren't absorbed well in the body, thereby limiting, I should say, their effectiveness. So seeking supplements that can help needs to be done with care, as there are a few very effective bioflavonoid-based anti-inflammatory supplements out there. By the way, there is a great supplement that I've been using, which has meant a big difference for me and my family, and you can learn more about it through the link in this video's description down below. Have a look so you can read all about it and learn more about it. Also, it goes without saying that stress can cause changes in the body that can lead to chronic inflammation. So while this is a highly complex subject in itself and worthy of a complex video, this simple message here for now is: don't let stress fester. It is harming you more than you know, and is one of the leading causes of chronic inflammation in the body. While a diet that is super rich in antioxidant nutrients is the way to go, we all need to eliminate as many sources of stress as possible and develop new ways of dealing with stress if we cannot readily eliminate it from our lives. So let's deal with it better, or get rid of it altogether. Another quick tip: be careful with electromagnetics. Don't hang around too closely to wireless transmitters for any length of time. I know some people who live in an apartment, or live, or even in a house, and they're just too close day in, day out to their wireless transmitter. Don't hang around too closely to them for any length of time. Also, try to avoid keeping your mobile phone or other wireless devices too close to your body, such as in your pocket or just somewhere on your person, for any length of time. So the best way to fight and prevent chronic inflammation is to get back to basics and put a conscious daily emphasis on antioxidant foods and supplements to combat and eliminate free radicals. I urge you to plan and launch your own counterattack on chronic inflammation within the body. Don't wait to be diagnosed with a serious health problem caused by it. Chances are high that you have chronic inflammation inside of you, and you just might not know it. Most people don't know that they do. Start today by eliminating as much stress from your life as possible, and let natural, organic foods, these are your friends now, loaded with antioxidants and the right supplements, be your weapons. Couple them with regular exercise to further help drive out free radicals from your system. Even taking, if you're busy and working a lot of hours, even taking a walk for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or ideally, better yet, 30 minutes, but still not a long time, can really make a difference in the long term. It may not seem like a lot, but in the long term, it can really help if you can't get to a gym or can't exercise for longer. Drink lots of clean or filtered water. This fight against free radicals and chronic inflammation needs to be an ongoing and daily lifestyle. Keyword, lifestyle. Not just a one-time fight. Don't let chronic inflammation secretly kill you nor cause you pain. And why live in pain? Be focused on it and make a conscious choice to dedicate regular effort to adopt a lifestyle of fighting free radicals, therefore winning the war on chronic inflammation. Nobody can do it for you, though there are many resources and lots of information that can help you. And the great news is that most of them are very available and exist in nature, which is your best friend and mine. Think in terms of not just individual diseases, or hey, I have this chronic pain that doesn't seem to go away, or anything else. Think in terms of chronic inflammation. See your doctor if you have a chronic condition or any chronic condition, But keep in mind that may not just be a pain. Chronic inflammation could figure in there somewhere, especially if you have not been leading eating cleanly or maybe not exercising, etc. Again, if you're interested in minimizing chronic inflammation in your body, there's a great supplement that I've been using. That'll be in the description below, a link to it. Have a look-see, and you can read more about it. I hope you find this video helpful. If so, please click the like button. Also, click the subscribe button and also the notifications bell there. If you'd like to stay in touch with It's the Bald Guy, because we intend to do nothing but put helpful information into these videos and to keep putting them out. And the sole purpose is to reach out and help people and uplift them and strengthen them and give them and you confidence that you can get better and live the life of your dreams. Until we meet again next time, thanks for tuning in on chronic inflammation. And this is Dan Pierre, the Bald Guy here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bless you.